Hi, this is Felina. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, and I'm happy to have you. But before I go into the story, actually, it says a message, but actually, I have more than one. Okay, first and foremost, um, if you watched my last video about the scariest movie to me, it's the scariest movie I've ever watched. You know that I said that anything spiritual scares me. So I am nervous about doing this, but it's a story I've wanted to do. It's been done before. Not that much, but it has been done. I'm nervous about it. And also, I wanted to say if you get triggered by like demonic possession, anything spiritual that nature, don't watch this video. There are videos that have more, and I'll tell you about those than what I'm going to show. But it's a very disturbing story, and there is a book about it which I'll talk about. And I'm starting this on Halloween morning because I said I would do it. And like I said, I'm a little nervous about it. It's a dark subject, a very dark subject, and it's a true story. And another thing I wanted to say is, everyone has a right to their opinion. We all do. Ed and Lorraine Warren, they were they helped in this case. And some people believe in what they did and some people don't. I'm someone who believes in what they did. I think they were amazing. Of course, Lorraine, she passed away a few years ago, and Ed before her. Uh, Lorraine was a clairvoyant. She had gifts. Well, she considered them gifts. I don't know if I would or not, but of course, both of them help people, so I guess that makes it a gift. I just couldn't have handled what she did. Wow, she had visions, she felt things, she saw auras. There were good things too. I mean, she said she knew I think when she met Ed that she was going to marry him. So yeah, and Ed had experiences of his own as a child, and he was a demonologist. And I think that just he kind of got shunned by his dad for being scared. But I think as he got older, he wanted to know more about it, and he's like a self-taught demonologist. Demonologist. So yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like that Ed liked to give his opinion, but he was just passionate about what he had to say. So you have your right. Um, Whether you believe in them or not, you have that right. But there's no point in saying anything mean. I know we all say mean things sometimes, but usually it's when someone hurts us. Usually someone we love, and we don't mean what we say. I've been guilty of that, and I think it probably makes me feel worse than who I say it to or about. But there's no point. Chances are you never met Ed or Lorraine Warren. So you're just going on what you've heard, or just you're being closed minded. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but you're being closed minded. There's no point in saying anything mean. They're deceased. That's not even. I'm sorry that they're gone, but you shouldn't be that way with anybody. I'm just saying. Like I said, I know we all have our faults. We say things we don't mean, but these are people that just if you're judging them, just please just kind of, keep your judgment to yourself, please. Again, if there are any rude comments, I will delete and block. I'm not being mean by doing that, but I just, I have my reasons. So I'm going to get into the story, and you know, I recommend no children be around. I'm going to have to delicately talk about some things and that aren't pleasant at all. They're horrifying. And no children around, please. And like I said, and I'll tell you about the ones where you can see even more. But if you're triggered, just don't watch my video or any of the others. And like I said, others have more, but I'm going to give you the story. So I guess here we go. We're going to get into it. Okay. Well, we're going to start with the beginning of Maurice Theriault, and I hope I'm saying that right. I actually listened to the audiobook, but it's been a while, and it was free at that time, but it's not anymore. And I'll tell you where you can get the book if you're interested. I'll tell you about the book. But let's talk about his story. Okay, he was born in 1936 in Van Buren, Maine, and he had a very troubled childhood. He had siblings, and they were all abused by the father. And it seemed that Maurice was the one that was abused the most. And by the age of 5, he was already working in his dad's potato field. And the dad was very abusive to him, both verbally and physically. And he just, school to him was like an escape, but he had to miss a lot. But he was someone that actually liked school, which is, that's a good thing. But the reason for him liking it is not good. It was to get away from his dad. He could not stand his dad because of the way he treated him. And, okay, he was born in 1936. And in 1946, now this is very, very delicate. I'm going to talk as delicately about this as I can. In 1946, he would have been around 10 years old. He came home, I guess it was from school. And, wow, okay. He caught his dad in an act with an animal, if you get my drift. It was pretty shocking. And his dad must have been possessed too. I mean, something was wrong with him. His dad got him to do the same thing. Okay. And he threatened him, what he would do to him, if he didn't do it, if he told anybody. And this is so dark. And yes, oh yes, he really, really, he hated his dad. And I mean, hate's a strong word, but you really can't blame him. And he actually, I've heard 2 ages. I heard 13, then I heard 15. But at any rate, he was a teenager when his dad made him, leave school, and he had only made it to a 3rd grade education. So, and that made him more bitter, but like, school was his escape. And his resentment toward his dad just grew and grew. And you can't blame him. And I don't want to say it the way it was said he said it, but he would make the statement that he would rather work for the Dark One, if you know what I'm saying, than to work for his dad. And it was said also that he wanted help any way he could get it, whether it be good or bad. And eventually, um, things started to feel a little easier for him. Like he had more strength. He felt like something was with him, helping him. Boy, that's deceitful. No doubt there was something with him. But the scary thing is, can saying something like that? I mean, he's still a kid. He's a teenager. I don't, you know, saying something like that because they're bringing on. That's really a scary thought. What he said. So yes, watch what you say. But yeah, this is the kind of childhood he had. So I wanted to talk about that first. But yes, his father was just horrible. His mother he loved dearly, and we're going to talk more about that. But his mom he loved, but his dad, no, 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 no. He was treated horribly by him, and he he truly resented and I hated his dad. So that is that is pretty much his childhood, and I'm gonna go on with more of his story.